The 13th Candle.
Salem, Massachusetts, 1692. They said the girl was cursed. Not by Satan, nor by spell, but by truth. Her name was Mercy Phippen, and she never screamed when the news pulled taut. She only smiled. She was different from the start. Born during a blood moon. No midwife would touch her. Her mother, Goody Phippen, whispered to a stranger in a red cloak the night before the birth. A stranger no one ever saw again. As Mercy grew, crops near her home withered. Animals avoided her. Children claimed her eyes glowed like candle wax in the dark. She didn't cry at funerals. Didn't speak in church. She wrote strange things in the dirt that washed away before anyone could read them. The people of Salem watched her closely, afraid yet fascinated. Goody Malum, the midwife who helped deliver her, died in a fire, her mouth sewn shut with coarse thread. Still, no one accused Mercy. Not until she whispered the name, Cotton Mather, weeks before the Reverend arrived from Boston. Not until she correctly predicted 3 deaths in 1 week. Not until her father, once a loud, cruel man, began screaming in the night, claiming, "Something sits on my chest while I sleep." And then died with his eyes open, blood in his mouth, and his hand clutching a page from the Bible, ripped into the shape of a flame. One night, in secret, Mercy stood in the woods, surrounded by shadows. "I didn't ask for this," she whispered. The shadows whispered back, "You answered." She was the 13th girl accused. And the last. At her trial, she said nothing in her defense. When the minister said, "Confess, child," she looked him in the eye and replied, "Confession is for the guilty. I only reflect you." When the rope dropped, she did not kick. Her lips moved one final time. That night, thunder cracked above Salem, though the skies were clear. 13 candles, burning in a perfect ring. They were found in the forest near Gallows Hill, wax dripping upward, not down. No one touched them, but they didn't need to. Over the next year, all 12 who accused her died under mysterious circumstances. Some drowned in wells, some disappeared into the woods. One was found in his bed, mouth sewn shut with black thread. Only one name remained unaccounted for. The 13th soul. Ella Wilkins had no idea what she was walking into. Her parents had moved from Boston, eager for a simpler life. They bought a beautiful 17th century colonial home, the old Phippen place, for a suspiciously low price. The seller offered no explanation, just handed them a key and said, "If you hear voices, don't answer." Ella was a quiet girl, like Mercy. Sensitive, artistic, she liked to draw in the woods behind their property, always drawn to a twisted oak tree with blackened roots. There, she found a necklace buried in the soil, a charred silver pendant shaped like a candle flame. She slipped it on. The air changed. That night, she dreamed of a girl with a rope-burned neck smiling at her through the trees. Ella began hearing names in her dreams. Not modern names. Anne, Mary, Abigail, Bridget, Cotton. They circled her like whispers, soft as ash. Then came the chanting. She heard it outside her window, rhythmic, low, layered with overlapping voices. When she looked out, 13 candles glowed in the woods, and a barefoot girl stood in their center, smiling. Her parents saw nothing, but they did find footprints on the porch the next morning, tiny, burned into the wood. Ella changed. She started speaking backward in her sleep. Drew the hanging tree in her school notebooks, always with 13 figures dangling. She would hum old hymns she'd never learned. One night, she walked into her parents' room, eyes wide, and said, "The last one has returned. The jury can begin." Her mother began researching the land. Every record led back to Mercy Phippen, the final witch to be hanged. No known descendants. No marked grave. A historian she contacted over email replied once, simply, "Tell your daughter to take off the necklace and bury it deep." But by then, it wouldn't come off. The clasp was fused to Ella's skin. On the 13th night, Ella vanished from her bed. Her parents followed her footprints into the woods. The candles were already lit. 13 flames. 13 ghostly figures with sewn mouths. Ella was kneeling in the center, her head tilted up. Eyes rolled white. Mercy stood behind her, both hands resting on Ella's shoulders. "She's the mirror," Mercy whispered. She remembered. That was 6 months ago. Ella never came home. The Wilkins left everything behind. The house remains empty. But last week, a hiker found an old necklace buried beneath the twisted oak. They took it home, wore it, posted pictures of it online. That hiker hasn't posted since. Every October, another child goes missing.